Today's story is Our Place in the Cosmos, a Unitarian Universalist story as told by Reverend Erica Hewitt. We humans have always looked up at the stars, wondered about them, and even told stories about them. During the many thousands of years that human beings have been looking up at the stars, we've changed our understanding of what the universe looks like and how it works. More than 500 years ago, this guy, Nicolaus Copernicus, was born in Poland. He watched the stars and planets and used his observations to come up with a pretty unique and upsetting idea. In his day, most people thought that the Earth was at the center of the universe. They also thought that stars were little holes in a glass ball around the Earth. Copernicus thought, what if the universe doesn't move around the Earth? What if the Earth is actually a planet circling the sun? He wrote a book about this idea, but it wasn't very popular. And if he hadn't died soon after that publication, it is possible that he would have been put in jail. Today, we know that Copernicus was right. Our planet Earth circles the sun, which is a star. It took a long, long time, hundreds of years, for people to finally believe this and to stop saying that the Earth was the center of the universe. But for hundreds of years, the belief that the universe revolved around Earth was so stuck in people's minds that it became part of religion too. It was a kind of religious belief. So when Copernicus said, "I don't think the heavens revolve around the Earth," he was speaking as a scientist, but the church heard it as challenging their religion. There's a word for that: heresy. It meant that not just scientists, but anyone could get in big trouble for promoting the idea that the sun was at the center of the solar system. And believe it or not, this upsetting theory that Copernicus had intersects with the story of our Unitarian ancestors. Not very far away from where Copernicus watched the planets and stars, there was a land called Transylvania, where some of the first Unitarians built their churches and formed their faith, right about the same time that Copernicus wrote his book about the Earth revolving around the sun. Our Unitarian ancestors already knew what it was like to say and believe things that could get them into trouble. One of those things was Ej Oz Ishtin, or in English, God is one. And when they said God is one, they meant that they didn't agree with the Christian doctrine that Jesus was God incarnate. They were saying he was fully human, just as Unitarian Christians and many UUs do today. A lot of Unitarians in Transylvania and elsewhere died because they wouldn't stop believing and saying their truth. One of the villages in Transylvania today, which is a part of Romania that is ethnically Hungarian, is Auckland. Its Unitarian church is over 400 years old. Like a lot of Transylvanian Unitarian churches, this church has a wooden ceiling and it is divided into deep panels. Now, most of these panels are painted with flowers or plants, but there's one very special ceiling panel. A sun surrounded by circling planets. It is a diagram of what we now call the Copernican solar system. In Blessing the World, Reverend Rebecca Parker writes, "Holy regard for knowledge is at the heart of our religious faith. Let us celebrate these gifts which have been woven into our religious DNA. We belong to a tradition in which religion and science have never been forced apart or asked each other to be silent. We as a people encourage one another to explore and discover, to ask questions and declare that revelation is not sealed and will never be. We freely follow the call, whatever its source, that connects us most deeply to the world around us and to the world inside of us as well."